the choices that shape us, a lesson whispered through generations. And remember, even when pain feels inherited, your soul still holds the power to rewrite the story. There are moments in life that don't belong to us, yet they decide the direction of our path. They begin long before we are born, in the choices of those who came before us. My mother's childhood was not hers to live. At 6 years old, she was taken out of school, not because she wanted to, but because tradition said it was her duty to serve. She had to care for her younger siblings, cook, clean, obey, and silence her dreams. She told me once, I wanted to learn to read. I wanted to write, but her father, my grandfather, told her, you don't need books. You need hands to work. And so her little hands became the hands of service, not creation. She never had the chance to ask herself what she loved. She learned to please, to say yes, to hide her sadness under a soft smile. And when she was 19, she was told she would marry her cousin, a man she didn't love, a man she barely knew. She tried to protest, but in her world, a woman's no was just silence spoken louder. Her life was decided for her. And so her body walked into that marriage, but her soul stayed behind, locked in that childhood moment when she was told she couldn't go back to school. When I look at my mother now, I see both the strength and the sorrow in her eyes. She became a woman who gave everything, but never learned how to receive. She taught me to serve, to help, to endure, but not how to speak my truth. And here's where the cycle begins, and where I, unknowingly, carried her story inside me. Because children don't just inherit their parents' eyes or smile. They inherit their fears, their unspoken emotions, and the patterns that were never questioned. This is what we call intergenerational trauma, when the pain that was never healed continues to move silently through the family line. You see, trauma isn't only the big events, the violence, the heartbreak, the loss. It's also the absence of what should have been there, the love, the safety, the freedom to choose. My mother didn't have those things, and so she didn't know how to give them to me. But here's the miracle. Awareness breaks the chain. The moment we recognize that we are carrying something that doesn't belong to us, healing begins. Healing doesn't mean rejecting your parents. It means understanding them, feeling compassion for their pain, and still choosing differently. When I began my healing journey, I realized how deeply her story lived inside me. Every time I silenced my emotions, every time I tried to fix others, every time I felt guilty for resting, I was repeating her lessons. My nervous system had learned that love equals sacrifice, that safety means pleasing everyone around me. But love is not sacrifice. Love is freedom, the freedom to be fully yourself without fear. And this is what healing teaches us. It's not about becoming someone new, but returning to who we were before the pain. When I started listening to my body through trembling, crying, releasing, I could feel generations of silence breaking open in me. It wasn't just my pain leaving, it was also hers. The tightness in my chest, the shaking in my spine, they were the language of release. The body was doing what the mind couldn't. So if you're listening now and you feel trapped in patterns that don't make sense, maybe your anger, your anxiety, your fear of love, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, whose voice is this? Whose pain am I still carrying? Sometimes the healing you seek isn't only for you. It's for the mother who never got to speak. It's for the father who didn't know how to love. It's for the generations before you who didn't have the tools or freedom to heal. And when you heal, you don't just free yourself, you free them too. This is the sacred work we do when we decide to break the cycle. So let this episode be your reminder. You are not your parents' choices. You are your own consciousness. You are the prayer your ancestors couldn't say. And by becoming aware, by choosing love over fear, you are rewriting the story for those who will come after you.